If you're leaving your country or coming to Japan, one question to ask yourself: Are you, running towards something, or are you running away from something? If you're Yo, hey everyone, what's up? It's gonna be a speedy episode, kind of crazy episode, spur of the moment. I explained it during the episode, but really good content, short but sweet. I think you'll like it. Please remember to like, please remember to share, please remember to heart, do whatever, comment, all of that shit. Okay. We talk about moving to Japan. I give some of my perspective. I go through a quick list, answer one quick question, and then we just get out of here. So, which I'm gonna do right now. So, enjoy. Yo, what's going on? It's episode 138 of the podcast. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing fine. I got my co-host Doggy on the side of me. He was trying to jump on my lap, and I was like, dude, not right now. So yeah, this is gonna be a fucked up episode. I completely, well, not fucked up my schedule, but I yeah. I just had a lot going on. Well, not even a lot going on today. Today's my day off, as you can probably see. It's daytime if you're watching on YouTube. And basically, I had some time off. I chilled in the morning a little bit. Got really sleepy because I finished this Japanese movie yesterday and was doing some reading for one of my for my other work. Basically, I'm reading this book on advertising and stuff like that. So, okay, yes, dog. Okay, you can come on up here. Okay. My dog is like, let me up on your lap, goddammit. Give me some love. Give me some attention. Yes, doggy. So yeah, I was reading and watching the movie last night, and so I also went to the chiropractor yesterday. My shoulder's been fucking with me, so I went to the chiropractor for like the first time in my life, and it actually went really well. Shoulder feels a lot better. So like this morning I went up for a nap. I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a nap and then do some housework. Then, got like a couple hours, got the house to myself, got a couple hours to record the podcast. Man, I overslept my ass. Me and the doggy were knocked the fuck out. Yeah, I woke up, I was like, shit, I gotta, it's getting, fall's coming, I gotta take out my winter clothes, I gotta do that. Some of my winter clothes are missing. I'm like, the sweatshirt I really like that I made. I didn't make a sweatshirt, but just put a patch on it, iron-on patch on it. I can't find that shit. I don't know where that is. But anyway, so like, yeah, shit, I'm doing that, and I'm like, fuck time. So I run downstairs. Fuck, I'm hungry. Gotta eat. Fuck, I forgot to hang the laundry, which I promised to do. Shit, now it's like, 4 something, and I gotta hurry up and record something before it's time for me to leave. So yeah, this is gonna be a really, really fast episode. I didn't prepare shit. I just read the stuff that I prepared last time. I gotta move it back to this time, next time, just because my apologies on it. This is gonna be a really, really short one, but I'm behind schedule. I was like, I just want to get something out before the weekend comes, because that's kind of from tomorrow. It's gonna be my really busy time, so I gotta get something. Feed the streets. I gotta get the streets what they want, get the people what they want. Something like that. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna get into it. Somebody's probably come back, so I'll probably cut this in a second. But see, you see, it's all fucking crazy, man. Sorry. This is a fucking crazy episode. But anyway, Joshua, you sent me a comment. So Rod, the stuff I have for you, again, I just didn't have time to research it. I got to put it to the next episode. I got a quick list, Joshua's question, and I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. All right, so so Joshua asked me. I gotta reread it. Sorry. About complimenting. It's a great question. Giving compliments, right? And how yeah. So when to give compliments or things like that. And this is that I remember what I wanted to really say. Speaking of giving compliments, I'm in my free time. I'm watching like The Bachelorette Japan as well. Like I just started turning that on while I was hanging laundry, just because I like watching. I like watching like weird shit. And it's just weird, but just to see how Japanese people interact, and especially that show, I think I talked about before, is not like a realistic show at all, but I want to see the dreams. I was thinking about, I want to see the dreams they're selling people, you know. So you can tell a lot about like a society, or you know, about like advertising or marketing based on what they're pushing to people. So the Japanese version of this shit is fucking weird, you know, but it's entertaining weirdness. So I'm watching some of it until I get tired of it. But anyway, giving compliments, right? Like the reason why I wanted to answer this on the show was because for me there are two different things where you're talking about giving compliments to a Japanese woman. My only one man's opinion, right? Either, and again, this is, you know, my opinion, but when I was single, you know, I'll give a compliment to a girl. Even now, you know, it's fine. But generally speaking, I would say if you're talking about like in how to explain this, in a situation where, you know, you're trying to pick somebody up, or you're on a date, right? I think is the main thing with a Japanese woman. Let's say if you're trying to pick them up, you know, in a nightclub or in a park or a store, I don't know, whatever the fuck you're gonna meet somebody, right? Whatever the fuck you're gonna do. Generally speaking, like that might be the, if you have a chance to talk to the person for more than a few minutes, 5-10 minutes or whatever, then immediate compliment will serve you quite well. You know, especially if it's a situation where you're clearly picking this person up, you clearly hollering, you know, that depending on her personality, that might be the best time to do that. Yeah. So in that, you know, because Japanese people don't really get compliments in general, don't really get compliments on a daily basis, right? You know, in the West, especially in America, you know, a girl's getting called pretty and beautiful, they hate sexy or whatever the fuck people say nowadays. Like, you know, I don't know if catcalling, quote unquote, is still socially acceptable or not. I see on TV, sometimes it's not. I don't really know what the rules are. Again, I'm living in like 2004 land, people. So if I sound kind of out of date, you know, my bad. But you know, generally, you know, giving a woman a compliment, women are a lot more in the West, are a lot more accustomed to getting compliments on a daily basis, you know, 10, 20, 30, depending on where you live, and you know, maybe how attractive some people might find you, you know, dozens of times a day possibly. But in Japan, that's not really the case. So a woman can literally go years without here. Okay, doggy. Without getting a sincere, or whatever, getting a compliment from a guy. She can literally go years, maybe even never, without getting a compliment from a guy. So, you know, or if she does, like, it depends on the setting. If you are in a nightclub or a bar or something like that, you know, maybe it might happen rarely or things like that. Again, I would say it might be depending on the sincerity of what you're saying is the important thing. Like, you know, depending on your atmosphere and depending on the girl, depending on a lot of different things, you know, like, you know, her personality, what she wants, your personality. Do you seem like a player? Do you seem like a nice guy? You know, does it seem like a sincere compliment? If it is, and you just met this girl, I would say, go ahead and I would give a compliment, you know, and it would serve you a lot better to do that. I think in the first, you know, it doesn't, nothing deep. I would say nothing deep, nothing like, oh my God. Like, I was watching this fucking show, like this guy was like singing to this girl and shit like 5 minutes after he met her. I was like, what the fuck? You know, it's kind of too heavy. Remember, Japan's a very indirect language, right? So if you look into someone's eyes and you're like, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, and say some shit like that, like, it's kind of like, whoa, to the average Japanese woman. But just like, oh wow, you know, you're really pretty. Like something light that you would say, like that maybe a Western woman might think is like, duh, of course, don't you look at my hair? Like, you know, I don't know. You know, that goes a long way when you first meet someone. Now, for me, on a date, it's kind of a preset situation where it's kind of more established that you like the person, that the person might be interested in you. Again, meeting on apps and shit like that, I don't really know the rules of how that would go, so I can't really say too much about that. But again, that's why I would say like the second half of the date or the end of the date would be better. After you get to know someone, they let their guard down a bit, you know, because they're more than likely, you know, scouting you out for the possibility of being a serious boyfriend. So if you are into that person, you know, in Japanese, like there's a lot of like self-consciousness that goes on, and self-doubt that goes on with the way Japanese people think. And because every word, could be like, wait, what does he mean by that? What does he mean by that? But it goes on, in Japanese language, Japanese society, in Japanese communication. So if if there's any doubt whether you like the person, you don't need to repeat it. You don't need to push. In English is a very direct language. We have to say things express things with words. Otherwise, it's not really known. But Japanese isn't like that. It's a very implied language. So you saying something one time, it could be the lightest compliment. It doesn't have to be serious at all. It's gonna hit its mark, very strongly, and she'll know clearly that, oh wow, this guy really likes me. He said that my hair looks nice, or he said that like my eyes are pretty, or something like that. Or in the light of this wherever the fuck we are bar, like my smile shines, or some shit like that. I don't know what the fuck you want to say. I'm not gonna give you pickup lines, but but the point is, like, that's gonna hit its mark, really, really strongly, really, really directly with your average Japanese girl. If you're in a nightclub and you just throwing back shots and grinding on some chick, like, that's a completely different ball game. I would just say, just go for the home run. And I mean, not literally. If you want to, you can, but if you got skills, I don't know. But I would say don't really hold anything back. There's no subtlety involved in that type of situation, right? Especially if someone you're vibing with, you spend some time with, maybe like 15-20 minutes with, just fuck it, just tell them they look pretty and see what happens, and you never know, like, it might work out. Like, I think it will. That, in my experience, what I've seen, what I've heard, that's kind of how what the playbook is for that situation. Again, like, compared to my knowledge of the West, is compliments early and often, but they don't really have as much impact as one well-placed comment in Japan. Not two. I would say not two. Two becomes embarrassing. Three, 2 or 3 on the same date becomes kind of embarrassing, for her, right? And it might also be like, well, what is this guy getting at, or something like that. But it'll definitely hit its mark with one well-placed comment. So yeah, that's my advice on that. Hope it helps. Let me know, again, with more comments, more emails, questionsforakil@gmail.com, if you have any more questions about that. By the way, I noticed that I'm looking at the analytics. Of course, I got like a little bit of data on YouTube, but dating in Japan seems to be like the number one search topic that people discover the podcast for. So I don't know, maybe I am Hitch, maybe I am turning into Dr. Love for Japan. Hopefully I am giving somebody some love whenever they open up this country back up. I don't know, hopefully help you guys out in the streets. Like, I'm retired, so hey, I'm out the game, so just trying to pass it on to the next generation. All right, so that's that. The last thing I have for you is a quick article that I just quickly Googled, and found some shit that I can just expand on. Not everything, but it's some Sorry, I thought I heard the door. Is 10 questions to ask before moving to another country. So 10 questions to ask before moving to another country. It's just a quick list of some things. And oh, by the way, this reminds me, because speaking of that, I wanted to originally record this episode on the 10th, the other day, 2 nights ago, which was the 10th, and not the 10th, 10, fuck, what is that gonna be, 16th anniversary of me coming to Japan. Passed a few days ago, but again, I was just like, I wasn't gonna try and I tend not to try and force things with putting out content. So I'm forcing it now. But no, like, I have like momentum and a time frame, but I know if I record tonight, I would be kind of forcing it and would kind of probably not be in the mood to record. So now I'm like awake and alert, but I literally have like 30 minutes before I gotta leave the house. So that's why it's a short episode. But yeah, so just that I'm gonna frame this conversation article based on, my life, maybe some advice. I was playing with the idea, looking back, what would I tell myself 16 years ago, or some shit like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. So, okay, here we go. 10 questions to ask before moving to another country. So the first one, why are you leaving? Right? My obvious choice 16 years ago, if you haven't heard, was, I didn't have a chance to study abroad in Japan when I was in university. I had that miracle conversation with a professor that changed the course of my life. But, asking yourself why you're leaving. I was watching this documentary on or American quarterback, Tua. Okay, I can't say his last name, but I've been watching his career since he was in high school. He plays for the Miami Dolphins now, but he was in the documentary. They were talking about something where his grandfather used to tell him a story about the lion and the gazelle, and I'm probably just totally butchering the story, but whatever, it had a good point. And he was saying that, like, they're both running in life. The lion and the gazelle are both running, and the difference is the gazelle is running away from something and the lion is running towards something, right? And I would say, if you're coming to, it just popped back into my head, because if you're leaving your country or coming to Japan, one question to ask yourself: are you, running towards something, or are you running away from something? If you're running away from something, I'm of the mind that, Japan might not be the best place for you, or you might want to reevaluate your priorities and why you're so infatuated with coming to Japan. If you're running towards something you want to gain, something you want to experience, yes, very rewarding experience. But because me coming to Japan, it wasn't what I expected. I didn't get what I expected from Japan. I got so much more. Look at fucking life change. I'm a better person. I'm a fucking father. I'm fucking, honestly, now you can hear for the podcast, if you're a long time listener, it's been a winding ass road, and I'm still not to the end of my journey. You never get to the end of your journey, but I'm not where I want to be. But it has made me so much of a better person and so much more of a happy person. In 2020, what I say, a year that people say is one of the shittiest years in the history of the modern world, is the best year of my life. I spent fucking almost 3 months in the house, but it was great because I had a bunch of family time, spent a bunch of time with my son. Like, it's good. It's fucking all great. So, but I came here running towards something, wanting to experience something, not running away from my life in America, my crappy ass life in America or something like that, And it was an idea that was in my head for years and years and years, and that built the momentum which led me here, So that's what I would say. If you're like, I hate my town, I hate this, I have this fantasy of, I don't like my current life in Tokyo or wherever the fuck is gonna be so much better and so much cooler, and I can leave this bullshit behind, don't fucking come to this country, because more than likely you're gonna be disappointed and gonna fucking complain to my ass, or make it more difficult for my ass living here when you get here, whenever the fuck they open up these borders. So, okay, just run towards whatever you fucking want in life. God damn it. Okay. Where will you live is an important point too. Again, for me, when I came here, this was a completely different story. What I would say, well, finding a place now is a lot easier than it was when I moved here, because you have, the web infrastructure is a lot more sophisticated. You have a smartphone. I was going to a goddamn internet cafe looking up shitty ass fucking WordPress websites to try and find the guest house. I don't even know how the fuck I found my guest house. I just remember, like, it was the most fucked up website like I had ever seen. It was on like the 50th page of Google or some shit. Like, it was just terrible. Like, the background was like, this. I remember it was just this piercing shade of blue, and the font was completely difficult to read. But it was a good guest house, So the point is, it's a lot easier to figure out where you're going to live coming to Japan now, which is a good thing. How will you earn a living? Yes. You've heard me talk about this before. Not only don't your calculations are probably going to be wrong. Let me say that also too. Like, like whatever you calculate, unless it's like especially in the beginning, fuck that. Whatever you calculate, you're gonna need in Japan, you're gonna be wrong. Double it, maybe even triple it. Especially the first like 3 months you live here. That's just a fact, right? Like at some point, I tell people who new teachers coming here, they first say like, "Hey, I got money." I'm like, at some point, you're gonna be eating curry every day. Like you're gonna be eating 100 yen curry every day. You're gonna be living off of rice balls every goddamn day. At some point in the beginning of your time in Japan, unless you have a really, really solid nest egg and a really, really solid job. That's just a fact. That's just the way it is, right? Even when I had a fucking solid job and a solid income, I was still had that point in time when, because something unexpected, life happens, you know. I had to move, you know, and from my apartment. Plus, I was paying back my company loan 1 month. I remember this very clearly. I can't remember, you know, I'm not going to get too deep into the story. Maybe I'll retell it another time. But, you know, when I had to move out of my first company apartment, and move into my guest house. So there was that month, you know, at first I was living all right, but then there was that month where I got a loan from my company. So I was repaying that loan. I had to pay my rent for my old apartment. Plus I had to pay my deposit and my rent for my new apartment. Plus I had to pay for moving, all in the same month, right? So I was eating curry, you know, I was eating like 100 yen curry, like 3 meals a day, like for like about a good couple of weeks. And it's just like that timing where you're just like, yeah, I got money. Then you wait, hold up. Shit. Oh, shit. And then you're just like, fuck, I'm broke. Like that time is going to happen regardless of what, like, you know, your first few months in here. So definitely triple your nest egg will be what you need to do. Can you obtain the necessary visa or work permits? That's just a given. If you can't do that, then don't even fucking bother coming here. How much will it cost to live? Similar to how much money do you need? Double it, triple it, like whatever your expectations are. Especially nowadays, think of a side hustle. You have the internet, start selling shit online, do whatever the fuck you need to do right now before you come here. Like, you don't have no idea. Like, fuck, I remember this guy I worked with, a really cool guy from Australia. He was like, he came here, and I remember in my mind I kind of half laughed at him. I don't know why, like, but because I was a fucking idiot. But you know, he was like telling me when he came here, I think 2004, 2005, him and his girlfriend, they were like selling shit online, and I think cameras. I forgot what the fuck they were selling, but you know, and I was just like, yeah, that's like. But me, I'm like, I got my salary, I'm good. Like, fuck all that. But he was making bank, you know, and like people who were flipping babe shit, they were making bank, you know, and like me, I'm just like, fuck, I got my job. I ain't got time for that shit. But in a pinch, that's what, you know, especially now with the way the world is going, wherever you are, just get your hustle on, get your hustle on, get your hustle on, get your hustle on. That's not even the song. It's just get your grind on. No, get your roll on. Everybody get your roll on. Cash Money Records, Google that, get your roll on. Sorry. All right. What else? Will you have healthcare? Yeah, that's what I need to put in. There was an article. Let me put this in. If you check the description, healthcare. Japan. The one thing I fucking love about this country is the healthcare. Oh shit! Enroll in healthcare like as soon as you get in this bitch. Okay. Do that because like, especially because what happened with me is I ended up having to pay a shitload of money because fuck, it's a long story. Okay, I gotta tell the story really quickly. All right, so basically when I my company that I worked for when I first came to Japan, they were getting, you heard the story. Nova was a huge conglomerate. They also had a healthcare plan, right? And it was like travel healthcare. So you know, I remember talking to my boss at the time, which who do you listen to? You need to listen to people, you need to watch who you listen to get advice. Of course, he works for the company, so he's going to push the company plan, and he's like, yeah, how long you plan to stay here? I'm like, a couple of years. He's like, you don't need to sign up for the Japanese healthcare system. Just sign up for the company's system. All right, cool. I'm a dumbass 22-year-old. I don't know shit. So fast forward to me like 4 or 5 years later, I'm like, shit, actually I'm here for a while. I kind of want to have, I think I cut that healthcare. I kind of want to have like a real healthcare. I'm in my late 20s time. I'm like, shit, I'm, no spring chicken anymore. I kind of want real healthcare. So if you don't sign up for the healthcare system here, you have to pay 2 years worth of healthcare. So I had to pay like a lump sum of, I think, like about $4,000 or something, several $1,000s. It shit hurt, to enter the healthcare system. But now that I'm here, shit's gravy, And there's a article I saw the other day. I took a picture of it. Check the description of a person explaining why they love a Japanese person, why they love the Japanese healthcare system. And I think their dad had like open heart surgery or some shit like that, and you could see the bill was like about like $20,000-$30,000, equivalent. I forgot exactly how much, but how much they paid was like $700, so because there are certain caps and limits on that. And me, every time I go to the doctor here, I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm like, oh shit, how much is this shit gonna cost me? Fuck, because I'm so conditioned from like the American healthcare system. Like, this shit's gonna bankrupt me because I got a fucking hangnail. Fuck, I'm going in there like I'm emptying out my bank account. I got like all my money in the world in my wallet, and they're like, okay, it's just gonna be this much. I'm just like, oh shit, okay. Even me going to the chiropractor yesterday, I was like, fuck, how much do I need? Do I need like $300, $400? How much does this shit cost? It was like $60. Like, it was, fucking got me right. Like, he was like, yeah, take this course. Like, after several months of treatment, it'll be like 400 beans. You'll be all right. I'm like, psh, yes. So, definitely sign up for the Japanese healthcare system when you get here, or as soon as you can get here. It's just worth it. It really is. Like, you just don't know what life happens. You just don't know what the fuck. So, yeah. What and who are you leaving behind? That I really can't answer for you guys because, my family was supportive of me coming here. My sister was telling me all the time, you ain't never coming back. I was like, I'm coming. Come on, I'm coming back. She's like, you can go see your ass again. You were right. But yeah, it was a bit of a I would say clear the air with the people you're leaving behind. Let them know that there's a possibility that you might not come back. It will be something that I would suggest you do. That's just, hey doggy, don't eat it. Hey dog, hey, come on now. There's like a little piece of lint on the ground, and he's like sniffing at it, about to eat it. And so all right, so definitely, god damn it. Okay. So okay, hold on 1 second, you guys. Let me stop right there. Hold on. Sorry, you guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I told you, she's crazy. This episode's fucking crazy. Anyway, yeah, who are you leaving behind? Clear the air with those people before you leave. That's going to be something very important you do. I just realized I was just informed I got to get the fuck out of here. So I'm going to speed through the last one. If you're being offered a job, how secure is it? That is a really important one. I got to go through. I was thinking about it before. I got to go through. Let me type myself a note while I'm here. For the next episode, we have to go through the different types of 1 second, of contracts, jobs. Yeah, we have to talk about the different types of jobs. I wanted to do that here now because this is really, really, really important in understanding, your rights and what can and can't happen in your job in Japan. Next time, I'll get into it. So yeah, can you afford the cost of moving overseas? I would imagine that's more. Again, I ain't read this article. I'm just looking at the headlines. But I would imagine, what are your running costs in your home country? What things are you leaving behind? Obligations you have back there. Like I said, car. Like, I just sold my car as soon as I came to Japan. Again, I just graduated a few months prior, so I really didn't have anything to worry about. But you might need to think about that. Consider that. And the last one, how long are you prepared to be away? For me, I would say you never know. Like, especially if you're a guy, if you're a girl, I don't know. Like, you might fall in love with the country, you might fall in love with the person. A lot of shit can happen. Like, so I would just say ask yourself, or open. It might be easy to say like, yeah, I could live there forever. I love Japan, but realistically, being away from your family, being away from your friends. What if someone gets sick? What if something happens? Like, you know, trying to establish a foothold in this country. And I would say, probably the best advice I can give you is come to Japan with the mindset that you are going to live here for the rest of your life, and prepare for living here. And my dog's back on my lap again. Prepare for living here for the rest of your life. And what I mean by that is make career moves, make studying Japanese, trying to establish a business, making connections, networking, like, those kind of things from the gate is, of course, depending on how much motivation you have, but especially in these times now, the more motivation you have, the better, because it'll just lead you on a good footing, and if it does happen where, you do fall in love, you meet someone, you decide to stay here, whatever, you're at least down the road. Not like my dumb ass where, I was like, oh shit, what am I going to do now for like about, good 4 or 5 years of my life. And now finally I'm on that road. But if I start, of course, I'm bullshitting, but you know what I mean? Like it just, always be prepared, and just put the best foot forward is what I would tell myself 16 years ago. Like, yes, enjoy your life here. Yes, it's a great place to live. But you've probably heard me say this. It gets more difficult the longer you're here, right? So the longer you're here, when the challenges start to pop up, and you kind of want to address those things before they come up, because they take years to address. Like, trust me, like the big issues that are going to happen, it's not going to be a solution that happens overnight. So that's going to be my solution for that. That's going to be what the fuck I got for you guys. So yeah, okay, boom, perfect. 30 minutes, perfect. Let me get the fuck out of here. Next episode, I'm gonna do a lot more prep. Rod, I got you. The Japanese stuff, I got y'all. I got some other shit. So all right, y'all, holla at you next time. Peace.